The scene opens with a bright morning at a peaceful lake, birds chirping, and a crow sitting on a tree branch, looking down at the water. Narrator: calm, inviting tone. Have you ever looked at someone and wished you could be just like them? Maybe you thought they had a better life, a better look, or were simply more special. Well, let me tell you the story of Kavi, a little crow who believed exactly that. Until one day, he learned a truth that changed his life forever. Camera pans to Kavi, the crow, staring at his reflection in the water. He tilts his head, examining his dark black feathers with a look of disappointment. Kavi, sighing, frustrated. Why was I born this way? My feathers are so dull, so plain. No one ever looks at me twice, but Sohail, now he is truly beautiful. The camera shifts to the lake, where Sohail, a majestic white swan, glides gracefully across the water. His feathers shine in the golden sunlight, and other birds admire him from the shore. Bird 1, whispering to another bird, "Look at Sohail, how elegant he is." Bird 2, nodding, "He's like a king of the lake." Kavi's eyes narrow with jealousy. He flaps his wings angrily and turns away. Kavi, muttering to himself, "Why does everyone love him so much? It's just because he looks perfect. If I had white feathers like his, I'd be admired too." Determined, Kavi looks around and suddenly spots a pile of white flower petals near the water. A mischievous smile forms on his beak. Kavi, excitedly, Maybe I can be like Sohail. I just need to change how I look." Kavi hops down and starts rubbing his feathers with the petals, but they don't stick. He then dips into the muddy shore and rolls in it, covering himself in a mix of white and gray. He spreads his wings proudly, believing he looks like a swan. Kavi, grinning, admiring himself in the water. "Oh, wow! I look just like Sohail now. They'll all admire me for sure." Feeling confident, Kavi struts towards the other birds, eager to show off his transformation. He flaps his wings dramatically. Kavi, boasting, "Look at me, everyone! Don't I look magnificent?" Silence. Then, suddenly, laughter erupts from the birds. A parrot chuckles, a sparrow shakes its head, and a young duckling tilts its head in confusion. Parrot, laughing. "What? What are you supposed to be? A muddy pigeon?" Sparrow, smirking. "More like a dirty feather duster." Kavi's smile fades. Embarrassment washes over him as he realizes the birds are laughing at him, not admiring him. And then, the sky rumbles. A few raindrops fall, then more. Kavi gasps as the rain begins washing away his white disguise. Within seconds, he's back to his black-feathered self, now drenched and shivering. Kavi, whispering, ashamed, "No, this can't be happening." The camera lingers on Kavi, his head hanging low as he watches the last bits of mud drip from his feathers. His plan has failed. His dream of being admired is shattered. Narrator, soft, reflective tone. Poor Kavi. He thought changing his outside would change how others saw him. But now, standing in the rain, he realized that beauty wasn't something that could be painted on or washed away. As the rain stops and the sky clears, Kavi slowly looks up at the peaceful lake. His heart is heavy, but something inside him whispers that maybe, just maybe, he had been searching for the wrong thing all along. Narrator, teasing tone. But was Kavi ready to listen to the truth? Or would he keep chasing an illusion? To find out, let's see what happens next. Soft rain has just stopped. The lake glistens under the sunlight, while Kavi, the crow, stands soaked and humiliated. His so-called transformation is gone, and so is his confidence. Narrator, gentle, reflective tone. Kavi had tried to change himself, believing that beauty would bring admiration. But instead of praise, he had found laughter. And now, standing there with dripping feathers, he felt more invisible than ever. Kavi flaps his wet wings and stumbles toward a tree branch, his head hanging low. He looks around. The other birds have gone back to their usual activities, not sparing him a second glance. Kavi, muttering to himself, frustrated. Why didn't it work? I looked just like Sohail. So why didn't they admire me? He stares at the lake, watching as Sohail, the swan, glides across the water effortlessly. A group of birds still whisper in awe, admiring his grace. Kavi clenches his beak in frustration. Kavi, angrily. What does he have that I don't? Sohail notices Kavi's troubled expression and paddles closer to the shore. His voice is calm, like the gentle ripples in the water. Sohail, kindly. You seem troubled, little one. Kavi scoffs, looking away. Kavi, bitterly. You wouldn't understand. You're perfect. Everyone loves you. But me? No one even notices me. Sohail tilts his head thoughtfully before speaking. Please like the video and subscribe our YouTube channel. Sohail. And what made you think looking like me would change that? Kavi hesitates, unsure how to answer. Sohail gestures toward the water. Sohail. Come, look at your reflection again. Reluctantly, Kavi hops to the edge of the lake and peeks into the water. His black feathers have returned to their natural shine after the rain. He sighs. Kavi, defeated. I just wanted to be beautiful like you. Then maybe others would respect me. Sohail chuckles softly, his eyes warm with understanding. Sohail. You think beauty is what makes others admire me? No, little one. It is not my feathers that make me special. It is how I treat others. Kavi frowns, confused. Kavi. What do you mean? Just then, a tiny sparrow flutters weakly nearby, struggling to reach the lake for a drink. Its wings are injured, and it chirps in distress. Sparrow, weakly. Please, someone help me. Sohail looks at Kavi and gestures toward the sparrow. Sohail. Go on, help him. Kavi, hesitant. Me. But how? Sohail, smiling. Use what you do have. Your strength, your wings. You don't need white feathers to be kind. Kavi hesitates for a moment, then flaps his wings and swoops down. Carefully, he lifts the sparrow onto his back and carries him closer to the lake. The tiny bird drinks eagerly, sighing in relief. Sparrow, grateful. Thank you. I would have never made it without your help. For the first time that day, Kavi feels something warm in his heart. He isn't being laughed at, he isn't being ignored, he is being thanked. Narrator, soft, uplifting tone. At that moment, Kavi felt something he had never felt before, not admiration for his looks, but respect for his kindness. As Kavi sets the sparrow down, Sohail watches him with a knowing smile. Sohail. See? You did something I could not. You flew swiftly. You helped without hesitation. That, little one, is true beauty. Kavi blinks, realization dawning on him. Had he been searching for the wrong thing all along? Narrator, teasing tone. But was this small act of kindness enough to change Kavi's heart? Or would he still chase a dream of false beauty? The final lesson awaits. The lake is calm again. The sun sets in the distance, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. Kavi, the crow, sits on a rock, deep in thought. He watches the little sparrow he helped, now resting safely on a branch. Something inside him feels different. Narrator, warm, reflective tone. For the first time, Kavi wasn't thinking about his feathers. He wasn't comparing himself to Sohail. Instead, he felt something new, a quiet happiness that had nothing to do with how he looked. Sohail, the swan, gracefully paddles closer, his eyes filled with quiet wisdom. Sohail, smiling. Please like the video and subscribe our YouTube channel. Tell me, little one, how do you feel? Kavi hesitates, then looks at his black feathers. He ruffles them slightly, but doesn't feel the usual disappointment. Kavi, softly, realizing, I feel good. Helping that sparrow felt better than trying to look like someone I'm not. Sohail nods, pleased. He dips his head under the water and emerges, droplets glistening in the fading sunlight. Sohail, and why do you think that is? Kavi stares at the water for a long moment, then looks at Sohail. Kavi, because beauty isn't about feathers, is it? Sohail, gently. No, little one. True beauty is in how you make others feel, how you treat them, and how you embrace who you are. That is the kind of beauty that never fades. Kavi looks at the trees where the other birds are perched. He realizes something. None of them are perfect. Some have bright feathers, some are small, some are large, some sing beautifully, and some, like him, are quick and strong. And yet, they all have their own place in the world. A deep breath fills Kavi's chest. He spreads his wings, proudly, not because he wants to be admired, but because for the first time, he is proud of himself. Kavi, smiling, you're right. I may never be white like you, but I am fast, I am strong, and I can help others in ways no one else can. That is what makes me special. Sohail watches with pride as Kavi takes off into the sky, soaring higher than he ever has before. He laughs, feeling lighter than he ever has. Narrator, uplifting tone. And so, Kavi no longer chased an illusion of beauty. Instead, he embraced the beauty he already had, the beauty of kindness, of wisdom, and of being his true self. The camera fades to the peaceful lake, where Sohail glides calmly across the water, watching Kavi disappear into the golden sky. Moral of the story: true beauty is not in how we look, but in how we treat others. When we embrace who we truly are, we discover our greatest strengths.